Welcome to the Inspiration Station hosted by Joshua Lenox, the place to fill up your tank if you're in need of encouragement and motivation.
Hey y'all, it's Joshua Lenox, the Inspiration Station, and y'all already know what we do. We upsize in 2025 all day, every day. Hello, everybody. It is Friday, y'all. It is Friday, September the what? The 19th. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Can you receive it? You don't have a choice, but I hope that today has been great, just as great as you are. I hope that everything has gone really well, and even you had some challenges or obstacles along the way, or some difficulties or moments of frustration, it just reminds you how much of an overcomer you are, how much of an achiever you are, how much of a fighter you are. And actually, you're more than a conqueror, right? So you can do anything and you can get through anything because you've done it before, you're doing it now, and you're going to do it again. So, hey, everybody out there, YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Instagram Live, LinkedIn Live, Spotify, Amazon, Audible, and Apple. Want to say hey to every one of you listeners, all of you viewers right now. I just want to continue to thank you all for continuing to share every week these videos, and continue to do that, y'all. Continue to do that. You don't want to be a hoarder or keeping things to just to you, right? Just for you to be uplifted, empowered, and getting your feet to move. And you want somebody else to do the same thing. So I just want to thank you all for sharing. Thank you for the comments. People telling me how much this has been a blessing to you. We're going to keep going, right? And again, as I always say, you don't despise small beginnings or what you perceive to be small, because what you perceive to be small actually could be huge. So, and actually it is huge. I always say every small step is a big step. When you take a baby step, in a lot of ways, you're taking multiple baby steps that's building something that's greater and bigger than you ever could have imagined. So, y'all, let's jump right into it. If this is your first time, welcome to the Inspiration Station. You are not a visitor. Even when you first laid your eyes on me, or when you lended your ear to my voice, you're not a visitor. You're just a person who has just come right into this family, right into this grouping of people where we're just living our lives to be inspirations to not only others, but also to ourselves. So the Inspiration Station is literally just a title, a nickname I was given back in 2012. We're not going to say how long ago that was, because I was just 10 years old then. But anyway, someone told me that they felt like I was like a radio station who sends out frequencies and knows exactly what to say. Had no idea that we'd be here 2025 going strong for these 9 months. So clap it up for that, 9 months. And being in this position, I couldn't have done all of this without you guys, so we need each other. So, Inspiration Station is not only where we're open, honest, and vulnerable with one another, but we're open, honest, and vulnerable with ourselves. Oftentimes, the greatest relationship that's often neglected is the one we have with ourselves. That's the one you tend to put in the corner, or the one you tend to ignore, or the one you tend to relationship with yourself you may reject or you may abandon at times. So, open, honest, and vulnerable, not only with others, but also with ourselves. This is also a place where we allow others to come in, and they're going to allow us to interview. I'm going to be interviewing people. I've done some and going to do some more. People are really out here handling their business, and I can appreciate it. But we have a lineup, so people will be coming. So you just keep your eyes open and keep your ears clean, so that you can be inspired and encouraged by the lives of many people, bringing their nuggets and sharing with us and giving us wisdom on how to continue to do what we do and do it even greater, and be inspired to take action to live the most optimal life that we have been put here to live. So also, let's just jump right into it, y'all, really quick. Want to say to you all, is it that you're being lazy, or is this a time of rest? Is it that you're being lazy, or is this a time of rest? I know for me, sometimes when I hear the word lazy, I think lethargic. I think like you're non-productive, you're not doing anything, or you're procrastinating, or you are putting things off, procrastination, or you are refusing to do things. You have a lack of motivation. You have become very fatigued. Maybe you're in exhaustion, or maybe you just have a mind of being so discouraged or beat down that you don't want to take any steps forward anymore. So even when you want to do something, or you want to acquire something, or you want to reach for a goal, you don't even make an effort. Even if someone else pushes you, you don't make an effort. So it's like you just I think about like a simple example is if someone was asked as a child to clean their room, do their dishes, do their chores, and the parent comes home and it's like, hey, you haven't done these dishes yet. You haven't done, oh, I'm going to do them. I'm going to get to them. And they're steady more on the video game. Now, that wouldn't have been me, but I know if that would have been, I wouldn't be standing before you today if that would have been me. But, they're on the video game, and now, kids have tablets and all these electronic devices, have their cell phones and things. and they're not wanting to do anything. And sometimes it could be a thing that somebody's continuing to put off. And it's like, or somebody who is just refusing to want to do better for themselves or make any effort to just take action in anything. So that can be what I call being lazy. But then also, there are times in our lives when we actually need rest. Rest does not mean I'm in the bed all day and I'm sleeping. Now, if you are healing from maybe a surgery or you're recovering from something, that might be a little different. But even then, you got to get up and go to the restroom and do something, right? Make some type of movement. But resting does not necessarily mean sleep, because that's sometimes what we make a parallel to. Because when we say, I go to bed at night and I get some good sleep, it's like, yeah, but are you resting? Are you really shutting your brain off? Are you really allowing your body to just let go and let God? Are you allowing your body to relax? That's how you rest, because relaxation can mean different things for so many different people. How do you rest? Maybe it's going out in nature, maybe it's running, maybe it's singing, maybe it's listening to music, maybe it's listening to watching a movie, maybe that's being with family, maybe that's traveling, maybe that's reading a book, whatever it is. But at the same time, rest does not mean to be still and non-productive. So when I'm asking this question, are you being lazy or are you being in a place of rest? What comes to your mind? I think about sometimes in years, in my younger years, y'all, since I'm just, 15. But when I was younger, I remember several seasons in my life where I was always active. I won't say busy, I'll say very productive, but I was very active, where my schedule was very much so back to back. I had rehearsals, I had work, I had practices, I had performances, I had shows, all of these different things. And I recall actually thinking about being an undergrad at UTC, University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. Go Mocs. I remember my schedule was somebody will probably look at my schedule and be like, do you ever get any sleep? I had practices. I had rehearsals. I was in multiple choirs. I was dancing. I was dancing for football and basketball. And I had to, keep my grades up. So I had academia to pursue as well. So I had all these different demands. I was in a couple of clubs. And again, just dancing alone that was a chore right there. I had practices pretty much every day of the week. Then you have your games on the weekend, basketball, things of that nature. I did extra practices sometime with the girls if they wanted. Some of them really wanted to be even better. So I do extra practices for those who wanted to be even better than they were. That was a sacrifice of time, but that's what you do when you're a leader. Hello, somebody. But I was in the choirs. I was section leaders. So again, I had to do private practices sometime with my sections, the tenor sections, and then come together and do rehearsals with the choir. Then we'd have performances and things. And my schedule was, somebody would look and be like, are you crazy? But I could handle it. I had the grace to do it and I loved it. But it would come those seasons, maybe more so in the spring semester, when things would die down. And then I would get nervous and I'm like, uh-oh, wait a minute. It's not a lot to do. What's the problem? What's going on? Something's wrong. I got to find something. What's a new hobby? What's a new interest? And not realizing that there are times I believe that the Lord was already preparing me, even for where I am now and where I'm going, that there'll be seasons of my life where I'm going to be in great demand. But I never stopped doing stuff. I always had stuff to do. It's just that the demand and the demand, and also just my schedule would minimize. But I still was big. I was still productive. I still was very active, but not as much. Sometimes when in fall, I had multiple things at one time, while in spring, there were just a few things. It wasn't as much of a demand on me, as I said, but I believe God was teaching me how to manage things well, how to prioritize things well, how to be prepared to have strength for all of that, all of the demand that I needed, that when of my attention and of my time and of my talent and all of those things, versus when I get a somewhat of a breather. And it's like, okay, but see, after spring and I went into summertime, I would go back to Nashville and I would work. And most times I was probably I was traveling like a stage play or something. So I was active. Again, I was singing in church. Then also I had rehearsals and things of that nature. Then singing in community groups and stuff. So then on the other side of that, I was having to prepare for band camp. So I have to get my girls together. I'm making choreography. I'm sending out tapes. Y'all don't hear me, VHS tapes. That was for real. Think about that. I'm dating myself a little bit, but going back to mailing VHS tapes in the mail, not DVDs, VHS tapes, and sending that out. So then when band camp came around, it's like, uh-oh, here we go again. Ain't no more laxity day. You don't get to have too much relaxation time, not too much rest. You're on it. So I want to say that too, because there are times in our lives where you're always so used to the hustle and bustle, which again, that can be a healthy thing based upon what you're doing and where you're exerting your energy. However, there are moments then when God does bring you into a moment of saying, all right, catch your breath, take a seat. You're going to still be active. That doesn't mean sit down. That doesn't mean become stale. That doesn't mean become lazy. That doesn't mean become a person who starts to procrastinate or anything. Because what can happen is you become almost overwhelmed because you don't have so much to do. And then because of that, sometimes we also have those negative core beliefs of thinking I'm not good enough because of maybe some level of conditioning, operant conditioning when you were growing up, that you may have had people around you that made you feel that if you weren't always, we're going to say it, busy, then you are lazy. Or that you're not doing enough. So therefore, you always are seeking and searching for things, and you can't sit still because you sit still for too long, you're gonna get anxious. Or if you think that your schedule's not full, you're not doing enough. You're no good. And then also that can come from a level, as we talked about 2 episodes ago, where we start to compare ourselves to other people. You look at someone else's schedule and you're like, I look like almost like a kindergartner compared to what they have on their plate. Or this person over here, they're doing so much, and I'm not doing half of the stuff I'm doing. And I remember sometimes I would, I've been a person who's been an open book to an extent always, or I'll say this, very honest and transparent. So when I would share with people they would ask me, "You tired?" And I'm like, "Yeah, a little bit." What's your day been like? And I would tell them, and I mean, it would be people who were very condescending, and they would be very negative towards me, and it's almost like they were trying to compare themselves to me to make me feel better. Like, what you've done in your whole day, I've done in the first few hours of my day, and things of that nature. Which, again, to be clear, there are people who have high responsibilities, and again, you can't compare yourself to certain people if your level of demand is not on their same scale. But it doesn't make them better than you, or it doesn't mean that they should demean you because you're not at the level of I'll say, of their strength, or what's on them, or their grace. If you see somebody who has a CEO, or if you see someone who's a pastor of multiple locations or anything of that nature, if you see somebody who works multiple jobs, they have the capacity and the grace to do that. Whereas, not saying that you can't, but that just might not be your lane or your grace. So you can't compare and say that, oh, well, no, I work as hard as you do. It's not so much about who works harder than the other. It's just that you don't have the same demand on their life, and you don't have the same capacity as they do. But that doesn't make you any less than they are. And I would have people who would be very condescending, very demeaning to me. And it's almost like, I should have just kept my mouth closed. It's like, because now that person sometimes will make me feel like I'm not doing enough. So then in my mind, my wheels is turning and spinning, and I'm like, well, maybe I need to pick up some other stuff, or maybe I need to do some other thing. And God will be like, you listen to me. You don't hearken your ear, or lean your ear to anybody but me. When I need you to sit still and be faithful over what I've given you, that's what you do. You don't focus on what other people are doing. Also, because there's going to come a time in your life where you're going to be looking back at these moments where you don't have as much of a demand or responsibility on you. And you're going to be like, oh, Lord, what I wouldn't give, to kind of go back to those moments and really be present and honoring of those, because now I don't get that free time. I don't get that relaxation as much as I would like to. You always want to carve out time to make sure you relax and do self-care and take a break from what you're doing so that you can, recharge and things of that nature. But my point in that again is, could this moment in your life, you may not be doing as much as you would desire. You might not be as productive as you would like to. Certain things might not be happening as rapid as you want them to. You might not feel like your schedule is full, or you might feel like you're getting behind or something. What if this is a time of rest? And rest does not mean I'm just sitting around twiddling my thumbs. Resting means that I am resting from certain things in my life. God still has me active. God still has you productive, but he needs you to rest. Psalm 23 says that he maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. Still, 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 still. You go beside still waters, what is it? It's quietness, it's peace, it's tranquility. If he makes me to lie down, that doesn't necessarily mean I need to lay down and get into bed, but that means I need to sit still for a minute. So that means I'm not going to be as active. I'm not going to be as productive as I usually am, but I'm still productive, just not as at the greater level that I'm used to or demand. Those could be those moments of him saying, "All right, take a minute, take a beat. I'm also getting ready to prepare to put you on a launching pad." Okay, y'all follow me, y'all. Everybody done seen now, so we've seen the rockets and things of that nature, go off into space. But what if the Lord is saying, "I need you to take a minute. breathe. We're going to regroup. I'm going to refocus you. I'm going to recalibrate you. I'm going to shift you in some ways. There's some things I need to work on with you for a moment. So I'm going to quiet some areas of your life for the moment. But you're still going to move your feet. You're still going to make action. You're still going to do your job. You're still going to go to work. You're still going to do your career. You're still going to work your business. You're still going to have family time. You're still going to have time with your friends. You're still going to do things. You're still going to build those visions and those dreams. It's just you may not be as active in all things as you used to be. And maybe because God is shifting you and he's needing maybe even to heal you in some ways. Maybe he's needing to change your thought process. Maybe he's needing to change in your structures, your strategies, and things of that nature. Maybe he also needs you to literally rest. Maybe where you used to be on it all day, your full day, maybe he needs you to start getting a little bit more rest, giving your body a little bit more attention, making sure you're eating properly, making sure that you're prioritizing things and organizing and structuring things in a healthier way. Why? Because he's setting you up for greater things ahead that are going to have a greater demand on you. So he's giving you this launching pad that he's about to put you on. And when it's time to fire that thing up, which is you, and you got to take off, you don't ever see a space shuttle go up and then come right back down to the launching pad, right? We see it go off and it goes up into space, into the solar system, into orbitals. So it's like it does not return right back. So once you get launched off, there's no turning back now. And it's like, did I take advantage of this time? Did I take advantage of what God was giving me? Was I as present? Do I feel renewed? Do I feel revigorated? Do I feel like almost a Renaissance person where I've been made over in a sense? And now what I'm about to do, I feel like I have the energy, I have the strength, I have the courage, I have the patience, I have the tenacity, I have the integrity, I have the courage, whatever that, the endurance, all of these things that you might need because of where you're going. And it's like, he doesn't waste anything. So if you have a moment of downtime right now, which does not mean sitting still, literally, take advantage of it. It does not mean you're lazy. And why it makes you feel like you're lazy is because you're used to being on the go, 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 go. And now God is shifting you. He's saying, no, 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 not go right now. Stay put, stay focused, stay centered in what I'm telling you to do. Take advantage of this time and also receive the instructions I have you for where you're going. Because when I blast you off, you're going to, rest might not be around the corner all the time. You might have a great demand, a greater responsibility, dealing with all types of people, going to different places. God's opening up different doors for you that's going to require you maybe to have late nights and early mornings. So take advantage of it right now. And don't think of yourself, again, being lazy. And even sometimes you might have people around you like, you ain't doing this, that, and the other. Why you ain't doing it? You have questions. You don't have to answer. You don't have to answer. And most times people who are close enough around you should know, they should know because of the type of way you move and the way you do things that you're not just wasting time. But again, that's not an explanation that you owe to anybody. Make sure if anybody you listening to, you make sure you obey the voice of God and make sure you listen and heed to him, because these are these moments where it's like, okay, this is where I probably get to reflect on some things and I get myself prepared. God's preparing me for where I'm going. And there's some things possibly that I have within me or that I've been doing, what I've been saying, people I've been around, places I've been around that he's removing from me. And I won't be able to get that if I'm on the go like I used to be. So let me take advantage of this time. I'm not being lazy. I'm not being lazy. But let me take advantage of this time, because when it's time to blast off, I don't need to look back at regret or thinking like, dang, I should have took more time. I should look back in gratefulness saying, I'm glad God gave me that moment, because now I'm going to take full advantage and I'm going to go full throttle with after what I'm supposed to be doing and what God has entrusted me with, whatever gifts, whatever talents, whatever abilities, whatever capacities he's expanding me to, whatever territories he's enlarging for you. Y'all, I'm going to leave my body for a minute, but I'm back. But all I want to say now, we're going to wrap us up, but I just want to say, don't ever think that you're being lazy. Now, if you're being lazy now, I need you to check yourself. I need you to get it together. Shouldn't be no laying around, sitting around, lounging, eating snacks, watching TV, binge watching this, and you need to still be productive and active. You just might not be as productive and active or at the level of your productivity and activity as you're used to or as you desire. So take advantage of this time in a positive manner and also utilize it, maximize it, because where you're going, you're going to be like, man, I can't sit still too long because I'm doing this and I got to go here and I'm doing that. And be thankful to God when you get to those moments, because it's like he knew And in all of his wisdom and all of his omniscience, he knew I was going to need those moments. And again, you're going to have moments like that in your life as you go along and grow along, where he's going to have you to kind of bring in the noise for just a minute and say, all right, like how almost like Jesus will go off from the people, and pray to restore itself, again, to be renewed. We're no different. So when it's time for you to go off to the next level of things, just thank God that he gave you those moments and you take advantage of it. Because when you blast off, again, keep yourself in that mind of being that space shuttle. When you blast off and stuff starts to fall off on you, even when you blast off, you're not returning back to where you were, because you're going higher, and it's a greater call in your life. It's a greater purpose on your life. It's a greater demand on your talents, your gifts, your voice, your presence, your being. It's a greater demand on that, and you're going to be going. And when you're doing all of that, look back and just thank God that he trusted you enough to bring you in for a moment and then blast you off. So bring you in, then blast you off. So I hope you all have enjoyed tonight. Y'all clap it up. Are you lazy? Or is this just a moment of rest? Am I lazy, or is this a time to rest? So be discerning about that too, because again, we want to make sure this is something that God designs. You want to make sure that you're aligning with his will for your life. You want to align and be obedient with that. Is it Psalm 23 right now? Is he making you to lie down in green pastures and leading you beside the still waters? If he is, heed to his voice, because he knows what's ahead and he knows what you need before anybody. So maybe you need to be filled up. You might be a person who you poured out so much and your output is ongoing all the time. He needs this time for you to be filled up, which we should be asking to be filled every day, but he needs you to be filled up with some things. So I love you guys very much. Please share this with everybody that you know. I mean, in your phone, on your social media platforms, in your emails, in your districts, in your politicians in your city, the library, the churches. Everybody share this now. I'm telling you, I'm becoming your dream, and I'm going to sing for 24 hours. But anyway, I love y'all. Always remember, even in this moment of what I'm speaking about, that you're not lazy. This is just a moment of rest. You've always been great. So don't you sit down and tell yourself, I'm not good enough. I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing like this person, doing like that person. You don't need to be doing like anybody, but doing what you're supposed to be doing. Stay focused on you. Stay aligned with you. And make sure you keep this, your vertical relationship with the Lord very near and dear, because he's the one who has the plans for you. Jeremiah 29:11, he knows the plans that he has for you. So stay in line for that, because you don't know the plans, but he does. So he knows what's best for you. He's a good father. That's who he is. That's who he is. I love that song. But anyway, love you guys. You've always been great. You're just getting better. You've always been great, and you're just getting better. And you're walking into embracing that and knowing that it's more true each and every day of your life. So love y'all again. Spread love now more than ever. I know we see a lot of things going on in the world. We see a lot of things that are coming to the surface, being exposed, very gruesome. Me being a counselor, I sing and hear my clients talk about how they're being affected by this every day. We're all affected by it. Stay prayed up. Keep your faith in the Lord. Stay strong in the power of his might. So again, we have to make sure that we're anchored in God. Stay prayed up, y'all. Everything's going to be all right. All is absolutely well. No need to be afraid. God is not giving us the spirit of fear, but he's giving us love, power, and a sound mind. And if we got our hand in his hand, we can't go wrong. So love y'all. See y'all when? Next Friday. Hey, Friday. Hey, Friday. All right, I feel like I was going to break off into a choir song, but anyway. But next Friday, I will see y'all here on the Inspiration Station at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 5 p.m. Mountain Time, and 4 p.m. Pacific Time. I was going to see if I can go around the globe, but not tonight. Praise God. All right. Talk to y'all later. See you next Friday. Love you much. Spread it more than now than ever. Bye.
Thanks for watching the Inspiration Station with Joshua Lenox. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.